Hey, Internet, I'm moving back in with my parents soon at the age of 27, which is, kind of depressing. And of course, the reason that happened is because I became disabled. You can look at my other videos if you want to see about that. But in this video, I do kind of just want to talk about my feelings about moving back in with my parents at this age, feeling kind of, well, I guess like feeling like shame and other stuff that kind of comes with it, especially since I've moved out of my parents' house since I was 18. So I've been away for about 9 years at this point. And I've been, I guess, a full-fledged adult for that long. But that recently changed, and I'm like, much higher support needs now than I was before. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. Let's see. So first thing I kind of want to talk about is, I guess, kind of the shame involved. I know for a lot of people that moving back in with your parents is like probably kind of the worst thing in the world that you can do, because you spent your whole life kind of building everything, and it feels like failure, right? To kind of have to go back in with your parents. And I would say I feel the same way. I'm slowly getting over it, I guess, but it's still kind of uncomfortable. The mental hospital fixed me a little bit about this, but I feel a little bit uncomfortable thinking about moving back in with them. But I've always just felt this kind of like uncomfortable idea of like, like I've already quote unquote made it in the world, and then it's all just kind of gone, and now I'm going back to live with them. I hope I'm not going in circles when I'm saying stuff like that. I'll be staying in my childhood bedroom again, which is, it's fine, like it's probably going to be a little smaller than my current room, but it wasn't by any means like uncomfortable or anything. So I think I'm very lucky in that sense, at least, that there is a room that's waiting for me that is comfortable. My parents actually, I can put it up on the side, but my parents actually cleared out my room for me. So now that means that I can decorate it how I please and put a lot of stuff in it. I'll be moving to a smaller bed, so like less stuffed animals and things. But yeah, I do think that it'll be okay in terms of moving back. But there's a lot of things that I kind of would like to do now, which includes redecorating the room, kind of, and like other things that involve like settling back in, like getting used to speaking our native tongue again. So like I do speak Vietnamese occasionally, but it's kind of nice to I'll be speaking Vietnamese primarily instead of English at home. My partner will probably be coming to stay with us occasionally, which will be nice, but I do expect to be on my own a lot more, or like on my own as in like with my parents, who my mom is like medically trained, so I'm not worried about her being able to take care of me. It's just like, sorry, just like the whole thoughts of like, oh, my mom is going to be taking care of me again now that I'm 27. She's going to have to take care of me like, I'm in high school again or something like that. And that's just, you know what I mean? It's like, it feels kind of, it feels bad, like I just want to be on my own and be able to function on my own by myself. But clearly the last 6 months have proven that's not the case. And I feel like I've been an undue burden on my partner even, because she has been helping me with almost everything. Like it was obviously so bad to the point where I like lost my job and can't continue looking for employment and stuff. I guess while we're here, let's do like a little health update. I still have FND and fibromyalgia, and like still have issues with joint hypermobility and like other issues around my health that make things really difficult. And again, with the FND, I have like functional paraplegia. That's what the hospital called it, where it's like, I have like a lot of difficulty walking. But it actually, that specific symptom has gotten a little bit better. I have been able to walk somewhat short distances now. So like I can sometimes make it to the bathroom and back. So that's good. That's my physical therapist would say that's like a pretty major change. I don't know how long it'll last. Like there's a chance that it might, go away again or other stuff. But for now, temporarily at least, I do feel like I'm comfortable walking around like very, very short distances, like at least like, 10 steps, right? Like I can do that. I'm still using the wheelchair, most of the time, in all honesty. So like 90% of the time. but it's definitely better than it was. And, part of the reason why I've been working so hard to be able to walk again is because my hypermobility has been causing issues, especially in my left elbow right here. So it's like, so pushing the wheelchair, especially when I don't use my active chair, it's like, I can feel kind of like pain and stuff. And I've been doing a lot of physical therapy on my arms and other stuff to try and get that working. But, everything's a work in progress right now, basically. But I still have like 5 to 6 different medical appointments every week. So that's like 3 times physical therapy, 1 time mental health therapy. I started EMDR recently, which is nice. So that'll probably help with my like PTSD and like other mental health symptoms, which I forgot to mention earlier, but that's okay. I do have PTSD, generalized anxiety disorder, and major depressive disorder, among other things, but it's fine. I'll live. Those aren't like as negatively affecting me day to day as the others. Yeah, but regardless, I don't know if I should be admitting this, but I like do kind of stand and walk a lot more than I should, I think, because I definitely have a lot of like close calls every day, like 2 or 3 at least, which is, like that's like, these are like almost falls, right? And I probably should be staying in the wheelchair, but I'm trying to also balance the fact that like I don't want to injure my upper body more than it already is. So it's just a kind of balance, and also trying to avoid staying in bed all day, which would suck. And going back in with my parents again, like that'll be a lot easier. My mom will be able to help me a lot more than my partner can, for sure, just because of her medical training. But it's just, I don't know. I just, again, I feel like I'm a burden on my parents who are of retirement age. So like my parents are both around 70 now. So it's just feeling a little bit, sorry, I'm trying to like not tick right now. I'm feeling, a little bit like I'm going to be a burden on them. And I don't really want to be. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit agitated, as you can tell. Yeah, and I've already mentioned I feel like I can't really be independent because of my disabilities right now. I'm hoping that eventually I'll be independent again. As of now, I still can't drive. Obviously, can't ride my motorcycle to move around and other stuff. The goals, I guess, for me would be to be able to walk a reasonable amount. My F&D seizure is under control enough where I can function, basically, and then also be in a state of like fitness and like health where I can like stay up and like be able to sit up and like stand, and well, maybe not stand, but at least be able to sit up for like more than a few hours at a time, and then at that point I'd be learning how to like drive again and other stuff, and we'd have to deal with that. And like hopefully we'll see how long it takes for my legs to like fully recover, because like again, like I don't know how long that'll take. If my legs can fully recover, then like well, I don't know if I want to say this either, but like I've been still having like these like kind of consistent neuro symptoms like with my legs, so, like with the balls of my feet and stuff. So like whenever they make contact with stuff, they start to kind of freak out, and it takes like a very significant amount of concentration for me to keep my legs from just not like spazzing or tremoring. And that means that pushing on the pedals of a car would just be very difficult, and obviously operating the foot controls on a motorcycle are just out of reach right now. On top of all the other standing, sitting tolerance issues that I have that prevent me from moving as much as I want. And so I'm just moving back in with my parents, of course. I kind of went off topic, sorry about that. I do feel like moving in with my parents is not going to be the end of the world, at least at this point. I've gotten over it that much, but I still really don't want to. And I am doing it because I don't really have a choice right now. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. I'll figure something out, I guess. All my stuffed animals were coming with me. Oh, actually, hang on. I have something really important to show. I have, where are you? I got a new stuffed animal and I can't find it. Oh, I found it. Okay, all right. This is my new stuffed animal. Let's see if I can get it. Do the thing. This is Pistachio. They're a green cat. I wanted to name it Booger, but my partner vetoed it. So yeah, this is Pistachio's introduction to the internet. They're very small and very portable. Yeah, so I just wanted to show off my my weird cat, and that's kind of it for this video. I'm gonna be recording my process of like moving and other stuff probably. Yeah, so that's kind of it. I'm moving back in with my parents. I'm gonna be fine, I guess. And yeah, well, I'll look forward for the next update, I guess. I'm still making chronic illness diaries, still working on my other stuff. So just keep a lookout for that. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Bye. Oh, okay. This is gonna be the long recording, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start making gestures for the camera. Thumbnail, these are for the thumbnail. I'm moving back in with my parents, yay. Okay, that's probably gonna be enough. I'm moving back in with my parents. It's not nice. I've suppressed my tics for this entire video. Okay, just get it out of my system. Come on, pistachio. Get it out together. Squish, squish, squish.